And we are live now on YouTube at the Underdog Report, YouTube Underdog Report at the Underdog Report, and we will be live on the radio in we are live now seconds. On YouTube at the and we are live now on WPAT on your radio dial. Let's take a look at where that is. That's here. We're also live on YouTube here, but we are on Multicultural Radio, WPAT 9:30 a.m. in New York. That's 10 million homes we're live to, and all over New York City, parts of New Jersey, Connecticut, and even some parts of Pennsylvania out there. And we're live today, and we're talking with the Gun Owners of America representative, and his name happens to be a good friend of mine. I went to visit him out in Texas. His name is Stephen Willeford. I'm going to talk about him in a second. But I want to let you know that I am the Underdog Report. You can come and find me on underdogreport.com. I am a reporter for joehoff.com on his national news website, and I post weekly messages on current events from a Christian perspective. And you can find me there on my YouTube and my Twitter and my Facebook, all those pages. Just search for that on underdogreport.com. Now, I want to talk about Stephen because he's a friend of mine. I love him as a friend, but I love him as a hero. What does that mean? Stephen was the gentleman that there was a person that went to a church with a rifle and ended up shooting people up. He Stephen heard the news. He was outside barefoot and ran inside and got his rifle. He happens to be a very good shot. Unfortunately, the gentleman inside the church had killed over 20 people at the time. He aimed his weapon at a friend of Stephen's. Stephen screamed at him, and the perpetrator turned and shot at Stephen. A gunfight ensued right there between Stephen and the perpetrator, the murderer. Stephen probably had about 10 shots fired at him. Some went over his head, some hit the car in front of him. But Stephen's a very good shot. He shot 6 times, hit his target 6 times. 3 of them hit the body armor, but 1 of them grazed, and 2 of them were very successful. He stopped the killing, and the gentleman got in his car, ended up killing himself. Stephen Willeford, go to thebarefootdefender.com to find out more about him. He trains churches how to defend themselves. If your church wants to know how you can have a protection people that in the event that anybody's going to come in and wants to cause trouble, he will come in and train your church with the appropriate people there how to do it. He also wrote the book, A Town Called Sutherland Springs, about the church and everything that happened there. And it's an excellent book that's available. So if you want to sign up, just go to the Barefoot Defender, the Barefoot Defender, and you can get more information and sign up for his website. Okay, without any more ado, I would like to just introduce Stephen Willeford. Stephen, hello, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. Got a brand new grandbaby. Real
Oh
happy.
yeah, you're going to show us a picture, I think. Hey, this is the first and only time I'm wearing a hat. I'm wearing the Charlie Kirk hat in support of him. Terrible thing that happened to him. My heart goes out, and I just thank God that we can do more to stop those type of things. And you're all about that. You're about training different churches. We have about 10 minutes more, Stephen. Tell me about what you're traveling to North Carolina?
South
Sure.
Carolina. I'm going to Clinton, South Carolina, uh, and I'm going to an event called CanCon. And CanCon, it's kind of a spin on ConCan, but it's CanCon. It's all the major manufacturers of suppressors or silencers, as some people know them as. So they're going to be there. Rules at CanCon are that no gun is fired on the range without a suppressor on it. So
Okay.
it'll be the quietest range day that you can imagine.
I love it. Let's talk about a couple of benefits of a suppressor because I think it gets a bad rap on movies. They view it as the murder weapon. That's not really true. There are people down here in Florida and in Texas, as you know, that have private ranges. Now, if you happen to live next door to a private range, the constant gunfire could be a little bit unnerving. Putting a suppressor on your weapons as your target practice makes your neighbors happy. That's just one of the benefits. Another one of the benefits is accuracy because you do not get as much of a kick from the weapon as you do when you have a suppressor on. And there's other benefits, right, Stephen?
I think the most important benefit is even OSHA recognizes that they are a safety feature. So if you shoot without a suppressor, you could damage your hearing and the hearing of people around you also. And so, we don't let our cars go out of our driveway without mufflers,
That's
and
true.
that's all a suppressor is a muffler. It does not stop the sound of the firearm. I heard somebody in Congress saying, "Oh, it makes guns invisible to law enforcement." I said, "What? How does that happen?" So some of the ridiculousness of it, in most civilized countries, if you can get a firearm in Europe, it is considered uncivilized if you shoot it without a suppressor. And yet we ban them here in the United States, or don't ban them. We just make it really difficult, and we register them, and you charge a lot of money and stuff, and jump through a bunch of hoops, and it's ridiculous.
Let's call it the gentleman's gun muffler.
So, gun owners of America, we have with the big beautiful bill, we were trying to get suppressors and short barreled rifles and shotguns off of the NFA Act. And we were able to get
Here's your website.
the tax done away from suppressors and short barrel rifles and shotguns. And now we filed lawsuits and stuff because in 1934, when the NFA, National Firearms Act, was enacted, it said that the Supreme Court said that it could not be a regulation, that you could charge a tax, but not a regulation. And so now that we've done away with the tax, then that makes it a regulation and that makes it unconstitutional. And so we have filed the lawsuits to get the suppressors and short barreled shotguns and rifles completely removed off the NFA.
Thank you. We hope that you're successful. We wanted to talk about something specific today, and this is some good news on Breitbart.com. Gun Owners of America, that's your organization that you're a member of, secures end-to-end universal background checks, secures end to the universal background checks in Virginia. What does that mean?
Well, that means that Virginia was trying to pass some tyrannical laws involving private sales of firearms and stuff, making it so, let's just say you inherited your great grandfather's old Colt revolver or whatever. You inherited a gun and you decided you wanted to sell that gun. If you sold it, you would be according to the law that they were trying to promote, if you sold it outright, then you would be facing a felony charge with 10 years in prison and a $250,000 fine.
In other words, they were trying to get rid of all old guns because who would want to go through that? So if my
It,
grandfather had,
it doesn't have to be an old gun. It's any gun that you try to sell on your
oh,
own.
any gun. So if
They,
I try,
they, you buy a gun and you go down and you shoot it, you don't like it for whatever reason, and you try to sell it, it bans the sales of the private sale of those guns. And that's unconstitutional. And so we had a judge that agreed with us and put a temporary stay on it for right now. So we are winning, and we're going to push it all the way to the Supreme Court if we have to. So get out there in Virginia and vote, by the way. Um,
Well, today's election day. I don't know if there's a governor race there.
Today's the last day to vote in the vote in the so get out there and vote for, you know, a good pro-gun governor and see if you can't change things for good.
Well, that's what we want to do. We want to change things for good. Here it is. Here's the Twitter account. I'm going to go to the homepage of your Twitter account. Unfortunately, this gentleman passed away, as you know, and we want to talk about different things that you support. We appreciate it. Again, here's your personal website and your personal Facebook page. Go to Facebook, The Barefoot Defender, or the website, thebarefootdefender.com, and Gun Owners of America, and find out more information. And it's very inexpensive to be a member of Gun Owners of America. I think it's $25 a year, I believe. And there are certain
$25 a year.
it's a great thing. Be part of that. Be part of that.
A pizza is going to cost you more than a membership for Gun Owners of America, and Gun Owners of America is a much better bargain than a pizza.
Yes, because we want a piece of the action. That's what we want. So listen, I appreciate it, Stephen. Glad about that news in that just passed in what state was that again? That was in
Virginia.
Virginia. That's great. We hope the election goes well there. Today's a very big day. Everybody's eyes on New York. What's going on there? We're going to have a communist in office there. 24 years.
They're
What?
predicting a communist in New York. They're predicting the governor in Virginia that um, wouldn't even say anything bad about the attorney general that wanted to shoot his opponent, um, his opponent, wanted to shoot him and wanted to shoot his children and let them die in their mother's arms, is what he said.
Do you remember his name?
He was the Democrat that's running for the attorney general, and I think that should bar him from uh being an attorney general to make those kind of statements.
Well, Stephen, it's always a joy to see you. We'll see you next month. We see you every month. Hopefully, you have some other friends you're going to try to invite on. Maybe we can get in contact with them. Remember, go to the Barefoot Defender. Don't forget that.com, the Barefoot Defender. Please go to gunowners.org. That's Gun Owners of America, but gunowners.org, and support them. It's the Second Amendment, and the founders of this country realized the amendment was so important that the right to have weapons, to have guns, was formed to protect the American citizen against a tyrannical government. It's not for target practice. It's not for shooting animals. It's for protecting our rights. Isn't that correct, Stephen?
Absolutely. And our Second Amendment is our first freedom because our Second Amendment defends all the rest of the Bill of Rights.
Without the Second Amendment, many of the other freedoms will be taken away, guaranteed. And it's been shown 1,000% in every other place that they take away guns, like they did it in Germany, they did it in Russia, that then they oppress and kill the people. So this is why we need to fight for the Second Amendment very much, very much so. Stephen, thank you for joining us. We'll see you in a month, and we'll continue to talk. If I could do anything for you, let me know. Any last words?
Get out there and vote today. If you haven't already voted, get out there and vote, make it happen.
God bless you, Stephen.